Let's go.
Reg, you sure you want to do it now? I mean, there's people about. Old biddies and that. I mean, it seems like a risk. There's people everywhere. I mean, it's the middle of the bleeding morning. Only takes one grass to call the old bill and we're done. I mean, go do it at night. You burn it down if you want. But do it at night. Look, I know they disrespected you and they got to pay. I mean, them lot are everywhere, taking over everywhere with their shitty little corner shops, taking a piss. But it don't make sense doing it now. You're out for blood. Makes you careless. Look, and I'm the same, Reg. I got it in me too. Yeah, that's why I got sent to Borstal when I was a kid. Smashed my uncle for what he'd done to my old mum. Didn't learn my lesson though, because I'd done the same when I was in there. See, these three bastards, they held me down and they stuffed gravel in my mouth. Said I was talking too much. So the next day I'd done one of them with my spade when we was digging out on a work party. Cracked him. Dropped, like a sack of potatoes. And the screws didn't say nothing. I reckon they ate the blacks themselves anyway. Still, I got an extra month because of that. Stupid, really. I should have thought about it. But that was before I met you. Before you sorted me out. I mean, you got me through, Scrubs. You made a man of me. You was like a dad to me. Yeah. You remember Brighton? Go down in Tweet's old van. All of us piled in the back, falling all over the place, hanging on like that, going round the corner. I ain't drank like that since. I was shitting through the eye of a needle for a week. And that lad you done, what we done. Yeah, think about him. Whether he's alive or dead or that. See, we're a family, aren't we? We're in it together. I mean, if it weren't for you, I'd have got out of the nick and I'd have gone straight back to Martha, wouldn't I? I'd have begged her back. But you helped me see the truth. I thought I was in love. You helped me see it can't be like that with a darkie. So, I owe you everything, Reg, is what I'm trying to say. But I ain't doing any more porridge.
No. No, you don't get to tell me what I can and cannot do anymore. You don't have the right to make those decisions. You don't even know who I am. All you know are these lies. I'm not in some cult, Peter. Every choice I've made since I left Bishopbriggs has been my own. I'm not all brainwashed like you're apparently stupid enough to believe. Pappy Bada is a good man, a good leader. This isn't the Manson family. There's no manipulation, there's no abuse. We chant. And we dance. And we share food. Tell me what's so terrible about that. Tell me how that makes me a danger to my own kids. You're just scared. You and all the God-fearing Christians spreading these hateful lies about us. Because you're miserable. Living your materialistic lives. Can't understand why we're so happy. Why we want to skip through the streets and spread the joy of Krishna. Your church is cold. Full of shame. It always has been. That's no environment to bring up kids. Look at what it did to me. I was bitter and dishonest and greedy. You can preach all you want about loving one another and treating each other as equals, but you never learned how to practice it. Look at you now. So angry and full of hate, just like I was. That's who you always were. Underneath. I just didn't see you like you didn't see me. Our life was empty. There was no love there, not really. You just wanted me to be a perfect housewife. It was killing me. Maybe you can bear the thought of raising children suffocated of life, but I couldn't anymore. I want them to know joy and community like I have now. I know how it looks. But I had to leave. I had to. It wasn't just for me, it was for them too. You think I'm a monster? You don't know how bad it was. I love them. I think about them every day. I'm going to be a good mother to them. I know how to. I'm learning how to. I can show them what love really is.
I don't want my whole life to be about this. I don't want everything to be about the cause, the fight, the party, Black Power. I don't want any of it. What do you think, James? That this is fun for me? It's one thing for you to say the slogans and go on the marches, but when you get up in the morning and you comb your hair and you put on your suit, you are a member of this society, and I am not. So yes, I have to fight. And I love that you wanted to do that. Really. It really gave me some hope about this grey little island and the people on it. But I'm not. What you're asking me to do now is to stay out of trouble and keep my head down. And I've tried. God knows I have tried. We painted the houses, tried to brighten up the streets. We shared our food and they raided our restaurants. We tried to play our music and they called us animals. We've tried. I've tried to fit in with these people, but they don't want us. So now I have no choice. We have to fight to keep our place here. And say what you like about the party, but they are the only ones fighting for me, for all of us, more than you. I can't have children while it's like this, James. And you can't fix this. But I can. It's my calling. He's spoken to me. I can hear him right now, James. And I cannot let anybody get in between me and what God has chosen for me. So I won't forget you. But I have to fight.
Don't look at me like that. Oh, Maria. You look like Papa. The marble statue of disappointment. You even got his eyebrows. They're charging me with vandalism and harassment. Did they send you in here to get me to admit to some other things, officer? They probably have a prepared list for me to tick off, right? I know that Munoz is sniffing around, trying to get him moved up to a domestic terrorism charge. Says he was a political target. He worked for Franco for 40 years. Of course he's a political target. Or this didn't come out of a vacuum, Diego. Years of abuela stories, watching Uncle Tomé come back from Huelva. The stories of thousands of men like him, re-educated in that pit. It felt like someone was pressing their foot down on my neck, pressing harder and harder. And I really believed one day there'd be justice. One day, Franco, his disciples would suffer for smothering Spain for 36 years. They got impunity. Every single general, or soldier, or priest, or bureaucrat, untouchable. It's like they finally took their foot off my neck, but only to shove a gag in my mouth. God, aren't you suffocated by it? The memories, the stories, all over the city, universal suffering. All while people like Munoz, the real criminals, move amongst us. Y castigaré al mundo por su maldad, y los impios por su iniquidad. Padre Acosta beat that into us. I believe in punishment for the wicked. I had to punish them. I showed them photos of the people they killed. I made a former admiral cry in the street. I plastered his front door with photos of the young women he murdered, and he cried for his mama. Munoz lives in my head. He ran the prison at Huelva, Diego. He did those things to Uncle Tomé. Look at me. You remember how he didn't move for weeks? He's screaming at night. I remember how angry you were. How you shielded him from the filth whispered about him in the village. With the amnesty, nothing can touch Munoz. So I tried to. I needed him to feel someone breathing down his neck. But he doesn't feel anything. Today, when he grabbed me, he was an inch away from me, breathing garlic in my face. He was upset that I had ruined his car's paint. He didn't even realize that I was carving the names of men he tortured into it. I needed him in pain. I needed him to remember them.
Hey. Psst. Look at me. Kaixo auspegizer. Why do you look so pale, huh? Don't struggle. I love you. My friend. My best friend. Just remember one thing when you go back home today and you have a nice piece of medium rare steak and a San Miguel, eh? Bien fría. When you give your wife a beautiful rosa, when you give her a kiss on those juicy red lips of hers, and you make love to her, and you hear her screams of pleasure, I will be there. Eh? When you give your little boy the hugest hug you've ever given in your life, just look into his eyes. Those deep, tender eyes. And you will see me. ¿Entiendes? Me. You know, I fucked Rosa once, right? Yeah. I made love to her. There is always one part of you that wants to be dead, you know. People is so scared to say it out loud. And today, for the first time in my life, I'm not scared at all. Because I want to be dead. I want to be dead. And you're gonna make this wish come true. For me. Finally. Askenean. Just like I did to your little friend. Fernandito. I remember him being so innocent and young, handsome. Yes, very handsome. Amazing future ahead. He was being so dramatic while I was ripping his fingers off. Bernardo! Maria! Ah! I mean, I didn't know he had any kids. But I had to put that poor man out of his misery. Right between the eyes. Perfect shot. I still keep his wedding ring, you know. if you want it. Just to remember his face and his eyes. Now go. Go! Celebrate with all your ETA lovers. Psst. Your terrorist murderer family. Because no matter what you do, no matter where you go, I will be there. I will be there. Every time you look at yourself in a mirror, you will see me. Me. And that is the only thing you will see for the rest of your mediocre life. Me. Because you are me. You are me. Me! Did you ever even love me?
No. I have never loved you. It was just a game. But I don't expect you to understand. The White House is your world. You navigate its system however you please, never questioned or opposed. But for a young woman, the doors close whenever she gets near them. So I had no choice. And yes, I used you to get what I wanted. But this was never about me, about climbing the ladder. We are in the most privileged position in America right now, and I will not stand by and let the president's corruption poison this country. You knew that Nixon covered up the Watergate break-in and silenced anyone who got too close to the truth. But I came here to uncover that truth. I came here with a clear plan, and you were not meant to be a part of it. And feelings. Feelings do not matter here because people like us, we don't have space in our lives for love. In all of our privileges, this is the one we will never be given. So I just needed what you have. Access. Information. Power. You were just my way in. And I have what I need now. I have the smoking gun tape where he orders the CIA to block the investigation. And I have the documents proving the cover-up was orchestrated by his closest aides. So when my article comes out, I guarantee you that Nixon will resign. And when he does, he will bring all of his supporters down with him. So you may think the worst of me, Christian. But when it comes to choosing sides, I'm gonna choose my country. Always.
It is exactly what you think it is. Those photographs were taken with my camera. I wasn't expecting you to visit me today, Father. But now that you're here, I will tell you everything. No, let me finish. For the first time in your miserable, pathetic life, you will listen to someone else other than yourself. Jürgen is my boyfriend. We've been together for over a year now. I love him. You might have never felt this type of love, potentially any type of love, but that does not mean it doesn't exist. Have you ever felt something so strong about someone that you would risk your freedom or even your life just in order to see them? Have you ever felt the need to disappear and leave everything behind except from that one person you love? Because your love is criticized and disgusting for the corrupt reality you live in. You haven't, have you? And not only that, you haven't even thought about the possibility of that happening to someone. Don't worry. This is the only thing I have of him now. I might never see him again. I found this outside his house in Friedrichshain. He said our love would last forever when he was drawing the rose. Ironically, I said that everything has an end. But I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I meant that only death could separate us, but not like this. Not because in this messed up world we live in, some privileged people like you decide which love is acceptable and which one deserves to die. You should leave. You know what, Sean? You're sacked and you're a prick.
See, I don't know how to answer you, Jack. Because if I say yeah, then I'm sacked. And if I say no, then you call me a liar. And I'm still sacked. But you're gonna believe Rob whatever I say. Yeah, I shagged him. I think we can rule out any confusion there. Why I did it? Well, there's no point telling you my reason. Your precious little Rob here can fill you in on that. If you ever feels like sharing truth. But let's talk about my options here. You could let me off with warning, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So the outcome is pretty limited for me. The only real option here Just making sure everyone knows your little secret. We're up to Toy Boy. Don't think any of us are fooled there. And opening and running the first gay club in London should have given you away a long time ago. But somehow you slipped under radar. You've kept this lie going for years. I'm not judging. I know it's not easy. You haven't given me many other options here. Jack. How'd your wife feel about your plaything? How about your kids? How about if it goes in papers? Don't think I didn't come in here. It's only in my corner. You think your kids will be safe in school? With everyone knowing the big puff you are? The double life you're living? I know. I know times are changing. You're still more riots, pride matches here. I mean, we're not classed as fucking insane by doctors anymore. We can be us and not feel ashamed. You're a married family man, Jack. Well, there are still a lot of angry and disgusted people out there. So think on it. I won't go home. I can't go home. Oh. Take your time, Jack. And while you're thinking, maybe get rid of that little arm piece of yours. Because one day, he's gonna stab you in back. He wasn't even that good a shag.
No. Listen to me, Henry. What happened at Eton wasn't our fault. It was a stupid accident. I mean, Jesus! Henry, we were kids. You can't blame yourself, or me, or any of the other chaps. We didn't think he was going to die. It was just a dare, you know? He wanted to join our group. We didn't exactly force him to do anything. We just told him, this is what you have to do to join. It was his choice. Besides, it wasn't going to amount to anything. He was studying fucking PPE. I mean, how many bloody Asians do you know that make it into politics? My father will literally kill me. It will destroy my family name. And it will destroy you, Henry. It will bloody destroy you. Don't you understand that? Think about your little brother. Edward, right? Yeah? Okay, imagine the look on Edward's face when he comes to visit you in jail. Imagine him at your funeral when you get stabbed by another inmate just for being fucking privileged. I mean, do you really think you'll survive in a prison, Henry? Look at you. You'll be made a little bitch in there. I mean, do you want to get fucked in the arse every time you go for a shower by some fucking huge drug dealer? You want that? We have our whole lives ahead of us. I mean, I'm going to be Prime Minister one day, for Christ's sake. Do you understand that? I'm going to make real positive change to this world. We can't have Jim Callaghan as Prime Minister forever. Everything's going to shit. Think about when Maggie becomes PM, right? She'll disempower the unions and increase individual liberty, giving people hope, which is exactly what we need after our winter of discontent. She'll change millions of British lives for the better. And I can do that too, Henry. But not if you go through with this. Just don't go to the police. Please. It won't bring him back. He's gone. There's no point dragging us down with him.
Eileen, you know I can't leave. My work is here. And this is... I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. Look at me. There was nothing I could do. What did you expect me to say? We should never have started this. It is wrong, evil, and you have to go. Now, the Mother Superior is bringing the guards. She's accusing you of all kinds of things. The alley where we first kissed. It leads out of the laundry and past the school. You run, you go into town, and you take the next bus up to Dublin. There is nothing for you here now. I am nothing to stay for. You're good at sewing, and with Christmas coming up, you'll surely find some work there. And maybe you could even get over to London. St. Vincent's is a sentence. And if you don't leave now, it will be one jail to the next. I'll pray for you. And I will try not to think of your face or your laugh. And maybe with distance, we will both get better. We could be cured. And then I could visit. And we could be friends. Maybe this is all for the best. Take this with you. You gave it to me and now it's yours again. I'll pray for you. I will pray for you and I will try not to miss you. And I won't miss you. Because we will both get better. Right? We will. This was a temporary illness. And even if it feels hard now, we'll be grand. I'll keep everyone distracted. Gynairíonn Bóherlat. Bannock Deirt. Go!
I was stopped today, Michael. By your friends. The cops. The ones you think are twisted around your little finger. They took it. They knew it wasn't no case of pomegranate juice. I was driving from Nassau onto Whitewood, and they shouted at me to pull over. And before I even had a chance to string together a thought, they ordered me out. I did everything you asked me to do. Smiled big at the officer, played dumb, asked about his wife, but he pushed me against the car. He pushed me against the car and he pressed me. He ordered me to talk. I couldn't move. I was schwitzing, Mike. They searched the car. They went through everything. Guns, dope, all of it. That's why I don't have the money. I broke your code of silence. I'm sorry. Well, say something. Ask me if I'm all right. I've always chosen you, Mike. Every single time. For 7 years, I've done everything you've asked me to do. Kept quiet. Smiled big when you lied to me. I'm loyal, Mike. But I'm not stupid. You said my brother's death was an accident. That he fell off scaffolding while washing a window. Well, I know that's not true, because he was no idiot. He wouldn't have done that job unless he was strapped in tight. Thierry murdered him, and you knew it. You knew. But you sat there, and you watched my family fall to pieces, because you'd rather lie to me than break you a murder. Well, too bad. It's broken. Oh, you take a step toward me? I'll blow you to kingdom come.
I feel like I've said this so many times now. So, a manager, he told me to bring a bed to the pregnancy ward. After I put it there, I was going back to the main floor. And I have to pass this woman's ward on the way to the main floor. There was someone in the woman's ward. No one was supposed to be there. It was after hours. So I went in and I checked. And suddenly this man, he starts running towards me. And he shoves me and then he escapes. But before I can take a look at him, this lady on the bed starts to scream. And then the lights go on and everybody is just shouting, and then I got shoved into this empty ICU room. I was so confused. I didn't understand what was happening. And then they said, sit here, wait here. We'll come and get you. And the police came. And then they took me away. They said, I'm the suspect. What the hell, no? It's ridiculous, no? Did they think that I would do something like this, huh? Hey, say something, no? No, brother. You think I'd do something like this? You don't believe me? You're going to do what you've always done, no? I never depended on you. Everything I've done, I did it myself. And the one time I asked for your favor, it's landed me in this godforsaken cage. You lied to me. You betrayed me, Vic. You said the hospital received the papers. But they never did. I didn't go to medical college to don't see the pieces don't fit, Vic. You brought me here to share in your burden, to contribute to your drowning household, because you're too goddamn lazy to do anything better. I could be using these hands to save lives. But here I am, begging for mine. Well, liars like you get to walk free. I'm the fool. I'm the fool. Remember we used to play carom? Huh? Remember? And every time you're about to lose, you'll always find a way to distract me and win. But this is not carom, Vic. This is my life. I needed you. I really did. I wanted to have sat on your shoulders. I wished you taught me how to cycle. I wished you were there when they left me in the toilet without my pants. Please. Please. Don't leave me again.
Time's up. Give me the money.
I don't have the money.
Give me more time. I'm begging you. I don't have time to get all the money by the end of the day. If you give me 3 weeks, I can give you the money back. I can find a way, I promise. 2 weeks would work. Just give me more time. Is there anything else I could pay you back with? Nothing else. Why did you come to me in the first place? You said you saw something in my designs. Something in me. That this was more than an investment. Yeah, you see, that's the problem with you, bande de suceurs de fric de merde. That's the problem. You throw money at people like us, with your big speeches about achieving something. That's all bullshit. You just want money? You want to earn your life without lifting a finger. Is that what it is? Yeah. Taking advantage of people like us, stallholders, who work hard every bloody day. Every day is a fight to hold on to a dream that we know will never happen. These designs are all I have. Everything I have, I've made from scratch. Everything. You see this? Weeks of cutting and sewing and dyeing. This is art. You came to me praising my work. And now you threaten me to destroy it only because of a few £100 missing? Is that what it is? Then I dare you to destroy it. Destroy it all. You don't know what we're capable of. In this market, we're all family. You touch me, you touch one of us. We all come for you. I won't do this anymore. Find out the girls. I'm leaving.
You think you can just finish with me like this? You think Yeruzelski and other guys will let you? Forget it about it, Dory. You don't even have courtesy to come and ask my permission if you can go back to your little village. Your little Dalikov. You came to Warsaw last spring and ended up straight on streets, hoping someone would help you. Every night, just in front of the bar, begging for money, praying for food. Who found you? Took care of you. Me. I brought you here, into my home, gave you the bed, money, food, got you a job. When you tried to overdose, I came to the hospital with fake papers and cash for doctors to make sure it wouldn't go into your medical records, putting myself in danger. You thought Warsaw was gonna bring you a new life. And it has. I gave it to you. Now you came here saying, I won't do this anymore, find other girls, I'm leaving. Well, I've got other girls. Don't you worry about that. I'm worried about you, Dory. Think about what Yerozelski and other guys can do to you. When they find out you just left without a word. You know what happened to Sarah? Do you want to put yourself and your family in danger? Do you? It's late. Go back to bed. Get some rest. And think about what you just said to me.
A coward is incapable of exhibiting love. It is the prerogative of the brave. Brothers and sisters of my homeland, and my new family here in Great Britain. I'm here today because an innocent 18-year-old heart has stopped beating. Here to pay my respect to him and to his family back home in India. May God give us strength to mourn silently and bear this unbearable pain at this difficult time. Altab came to this country from India, leaving his friends, family, his cultural beliefs, 4,549 miles away, seeking education and better opportunity to shape his future. I feel sorrow for the many others like Altab, who left their everything in their homeland and came here with high hopes of being accepted and protected in a more developed environment, only to have those hopes violently destroyed. My heart aches, imagining the howling of mothers crying in pain, waiting in vain for their son or daughter to return, pleading with gods, asking for forgiveness of their unknown sins, begging for one last sight of their own child, for one last goodbye. This is what hate costs us. Your river, your holy river, is drinking blood, Mr. Powell. Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Nepali, Chinese, African blood. Whatever skin color we may have, but the color we bleed is red, Mr. Powell. We are paying a high price for those whose propaganda and insecurities are projected onto us. And they're so blinded by their own ill motives that they fail to see the harm and chaos they create. But today, I want to appeal to you all to not lose common sense here. Do not choose violence in response to what is happening. Lawlessness cannot be, and it never can be, a call for action. We are at war against violence, and violence in return cannot be the answer. As Gandhiji once said, non-violence is a weapon of the strong. Those we love, they don't go away. They walk beside us in our hearts and memories. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, my dear brother Altab.
Just photographs, nothing personal. Circumstances have changed.
What the hell, Paul? Just photographs? These are bombs, and they will explode if you don't publish them. Look at them. We had a deal. My photos, your resources, and I've held up my end. What do you mean, nothing personal? Circumstances have changed. What's changed is your attitude. Behaving like some sort of big shot boss now. Listen, for the first time I feel like we could be doing something truly meaningful. For the first time I feel like my heart is beating for a reason. Like we are doing something that could actually change the world for the better. When I met you, you told me you want to change the world. You said the newspaper was mirror of our times and we had to be relentless. You said we live in a world where silence is no longer an option. That for evil to thrive, all it takes is for good men to do nothing. We chose this job to fight. To make our world shields and foundations for better future. And now you have the chance. You may never get it again. We'll set a precedent. If we can do it, others can too. Look, Look at these children. They are standing under that cursed nuclear sign, screaming until their voices crack, clenching their tiny fists, holding their signs with trembling hands. And what are we supposed to tell them? That their voices don't matter? Because some rich bastard newspaper mogul is afraid he won't be able to afford feeding his prostitutes at Le Gavroche by publishing their plight? These people believe in us. If you don't publish them, they'll know we've done nothing. They'll know we'll let the truth die. And if we let it happen, our grandchildren will be chewing the leaves and learning how to make bloody fire. It's your move, Paul. We are sitting on a needle in the form of a ticking bomb, counting down the days until the whole world goes to hell. Think about it.
No, please stop. Can you just let me explain? We don't have much time. Can you just look at me so I can explain what happened? There is no excuse for what I did. But you have to trust what I'm about to say and know that I love you. It was when I planted the bomb on the Andreotti's car. I was home late that night because they caught me. No, the government has formed a secret coalition with the MI6, the CIA, and it's called Operation Gladio. And the night that they caught me, they gave me two options. Life in prison for treason, or come home to you and become an informant. I never would have told them anything that would hurt you. I'm sorry I lied, but you have to try and understand. You asked me to plant the bomb, and I did that because I love you. But they caught me, and I didn't know what to do. What would you have done? They know where you're keeping Moro hostage. I told them. I had to. They have known for weeks, but they have done nothing about it. Because they want him dead. The British, the Americans, our government want him dead because he's too far left for them. They want to crush every aspect of communism. Not just here in Italy, but around the world. Oh, they're waiting for you to do that dirty work for them. And then they will come after you after you've killed him. Whoa. Put the gun down. It's just me, Leo. Just me. No, I'm not mic'd, see? Just me and you. Okay? Just me and you. They gave me a British passport. Just, I've organized a way for you to come with me, but we must leave now. Put the gun down, Leo. Give me the gun.
You've come here to talk about him. Why do you think his opinion about me makes any difference to how I live my life? I don't care. I don't care if he finds out I'm back with the movement. He's not my father. I refuse to call someone father who is working and supporting this dictatorship that is killing our people in the name of nothing at all. I know exactly where my money is being used and what it's being used for. It's for freedom. Freedom. Claudia shouldn't have told you. I trusted her. When even my sister can't stand by me and betrays my confidence, I have to admit that he's done a great job creating enemies within his own family. He made you think you were on the right side, on the good side. Protecting the traditional family, maintaining order, killing all the communists, torturing innocent people to keep this fascist alive. After prison, I turned my life around by starting this business. I've worked so hard to make the bakery successful. All the hours I put in to make our lives better. All the money I've sent home. He's never questioned it. So why does it matter now? I went to the church the other day to light a candle for Grandma. And I couldn't stop thinking about you. I miss you. I wish you could be proud of me. If you want to report me to the police, just go ahead. But don't assume you can still call me daughter.
You can't ask that of me. Even if you don't support my political views, I need you to support me. You're the heart of this family. I owe you so much. But the way I see it is that I owe this story to you too. I owe it to our family. I owe it to this country, whether you see it that way or not. Of course, the irony is that so many of the views in it I feel I've seen in you. You weren't given any handouts. You weren't born into privilege. But you created a life of privilege. So why do you insist on viewing meritocracy in opposition to equality when it's the very thing that made you equal? I've learned everything from you, to be honest. I wish you could see that everything I'm doing is in some way an extension of things that you've taught me. And one of those is my resilience. I've worked so hard to be where I am. You saw firsthand. You saw firsthand what I endured to be where I am. I've earned the right to write this article. At core, it's a celebration of strong men like you. Men who worked hard, and men who, they fought for our country and for our freedom and for everything that makes Britain great. Why should people that aren't really British be allowed to take that for granted? They shouldn't. They shouldn't be allowed to take that for granted. The problem now is that they think they're equal. They think that they're equal to genuine Brits. They're, of course, the majority that live on Callahan's welfare state. Many of them don't even bother to learn the language, let alone attempt to integrate into our culture. Can't you see that everything around us, the British way of life, our way of living, it's being diluted. Everything that we understand and value is being consigned to history. And that worries me, Grandpa. That worries me because one day I would like to have a family. I'd like to have children of my own. Children who look up to you and have the sort of relationship with you that I do. But if we continue this way, where will they feel at home? Grandpa, if I pull this article, I'm going to lose my job. Of course, I would be devastated to lose you. But ultimately, I won't lose my place in the world.
Mes sœurs, mes camarades, you all know that every case I defend in court is a political affair. Every single girl, every single woman I defend made the decision to abort. And my mission is to convince the judges and the juries that every single one of these abortions is to be considered as nothing else but a citizen's act of civil disobedience. Of course, I talk about the personal conditions of these women and these girls, but the thread that holds my speeches together is always the same. Civil disobedience. Making the case for civil disobedience automatically refers to the state of a law being immoral. This is how I make my cases political affairs. By painting the picture of sane women in a sick society. I publicly call the current state of the law immoral, again and again and again. And I can promise you that this, amongst the global fight for abortion rights, will bring us the passing of the act that we all want. The law will become moral. It will. But does the fight stop once the law is changed? No. The liberals will think that the fight is over. And they will abandon the cause, but we won't, because we understand that the root cause of the oppression of women resides in the patriarchal gender relations. The current state of the law is only one manifestation of the patriarchy at work. The patriarchy needs to be completely taken down, and society completely reordered. Men, as a class, oppress women, and they keep us oppressed in more than one way. So every single one of us needs to disobey the patriarchal system in every realm of our lives, public and private. Denounce the sexual objectification of women through pornography, prostitution, beauty contests. Impose a sharing of the housework and the childcare. Burn your bras. Use the pill. And do not marry. If we don't destroy the roots, if we don't fight the patriarchal gender relations? How can we be sure that the law won't change again and take away the rights it just gave us?